Yeah, I think we'll have a better idea when he starts to do, don't want to put a timetable on it, when he starts to do baseball activities. I mean, right now he's out there fielding balls on his knees and playing catch. So that's not like full, I mean, I guess that would be the start of baseball activities, but until we see him start to get moving, I think we'll have a better idea of that timetable.
Talk that Quinn Priester's coming up.
Yeah, we anticipate Quinn to start on Monday against the Guardians. So I know he was pulled last night after one inning in his start, but our anticipation is that he would start Monday against the Guardians.
What is he like from what you've seen from following from afar?
Well, I think that just the continued development of all of his pitches. And, you know, it's a situation where he's continuing to get better and deserves to, you know, get an opportunity at the major league level. And you know, we're going to be excited about that.
You guys have, I think in the last month, have promoted 4 former first-round picks with Carmen and Henry and Nick and now Quinn. What's that mean to you just to see the picks that, you know, in the past 5 years that these guys are all kind of coming of age?
Well, I think it's important that our development process is working because we're getting guys to the major league level and we're getting them opportunities, and you know, some of them pretty rapidly, which is important for us as we move forward.
Might be a question for Monday, but given I don't know if he's going to be quite on full rest by the time he gets here, would it be something of a shorter stint on Monday, or is that too good?
Yeah, we haven't even talked about it yet.
Oviedo had a really nice June, but his last few starts probably haven't gone as smoothly as he would have hoped. What are some things from your vantage point that he could do out there just to ensure that there's less contact on his stuff, just to avoid some of the walks, etc.?
Yeah, well, I think highlighting that we need to minimize the walks, number one, and then you know, over the course of those starts, he's actually pitched pretty well at times, and we haven't given him a ton of support. But if we're looking at the actual like execution part, it would just be making sure that we minimize the walks and put himself in a position where he's not pitching from behind because of not throwing the ball in the plate.
This is the first time that he's got extended runway to pitch as a major league starter. He's already pitched a career high in innings. Just what can that do for a young starter to be able to consistently get starts every 5 days and be able to not only have those successes but have some of those bumps in the road and be able to learn from them instead of maybe not knowing when your next start might be?
Yeah, well, I think the consistency in starting is very helpful because you know your routine stays on course. The second part of that is realizing that a major league season is long and you have to continue to, you know, focus and work on things, and it's a grind. Being a major league starter and staying on turn is challenging, and you cannot learn that until you experience it, and he's getting the opportunity right now to do that.
Shelton, you've emphasized the need to limit walks, whether you're talking starters or relievers. What does it do to a pitcher when they put a runner on base, give him a free pass, and put him on base like that, in terms of how they face the next guy or how much the next hit can be really damaging?
Yeah, I think just in that, it puts unintended pressure by not throwing the ball on the plate. And when you do that, everything else becomes magnified, whether it's a ground ball that gets through, whether it's a, you know, jam shot and you make a good pitch. I think all those circumstances that you cannot control could have been controlled if we put the ball in play.
Shelton, I know a lot of people in baseball have come to realize that win-loss record isn't be all and end all to judge a pitcher. But from a morale standpoint, how hard do you think it is to keep taking the L's like he is? Even in games where he's pitched well and hasn't been able to have, you know, ends up with a loss on his record.
Yeah, it's challenging, and it's challenging especially for young players. And I think that's where we have to make sure that we continue to highlight, you know, the positives that he's doing within his starts, because some of those starts have been he's thrown the ball really well, and you know, we haven't capitalized on offensive opportunities, and there's nothing he can do. You can't expect, you know, a starter to go out and be perfect every time out or execute every time out. So I think it's just continuing positivity on, you know, things that we feel are going well and things that he's getting better at.
Shelton, I had a leftover all-star question for you. There was a lot of chatter that night about the uniforms on both teams, and some people, maybe older ones, wanting to see players wear their like normal uniforms to the all-star game. Do you have an opinion on what you thought they looked like? Would you want to see MLB go back?
No, I mean, I think they stayed true to Seattle with, you know, we wore navy and they wore the teal.
Yeah.
Because everything, I mean, you were out there, everything that was out there was highlighted to those colors.
Yeah.
I don't have a strong opinion on, you know, if teams should wear their wear their uniforms or
Regular.
not. I mean, maybe I'm a little partial right now because I got an all-star uniform that's different than everybody else's. That's kind of cool. That's going to get framed at my house. But I also did grow up watching everybody wear their own uniform, which, you know, I thought was cool, but don't have a strong opinion either way on it.